isn't a ranking list or anything like that, or a top 10 or anything like that. It's just a list of the most overrated horror films. I got my Michael Myers shirt for the occasion. Not that Michael's overrated, because he's not. He's the best of all time. But it's a Halloween theme. And by the way, this October, which is in 2 days, I'm going to have a big horror marathon. This whole channel is going to be nothing but horror from October 1st to November 1st. We're going to have a lot of good stuff for you guys. We're going to do a thing about Stephen King's It. We're going to talk a little bit about the book, the classic miniseries, and the remake and its crappy sequel. We're going to do a thing on Scream. We're going to do a thing on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to do a thing on the top 100 greatest horror films of all time, ranked by yours truly. And on Halloween itself, we're going to do a Halloween franchise ranking. So it's going to be fun. If you love horror, it should be a blast. And I'm also going to do a playlist of horror movie theme songs. So like the Halloween theme's definitely going to be there, and yeah, you guys get that. Same thing as usual. If you're gonna I like and subscribe. I'm trying to get monetized here, so subscribe. But if you're gonna unsubscribe later, don't waste my time. But if you're gonna stay subscribed, I'd love to have you. And by the way, if you love horror, my channel, I cover a little bit of everything, but horror is probably my biggest genre here. So that's what we're going to and today we're going to do the most overrated horror films. And before I start, I just want to say that this is a project that this can really piss a lot of people off, because I might get into some sacred cows here. This is just my personal opinions, but the thing is, just because a movie, I consider it overrated, doesn't mean it's a bad movie necessarily. In fact, there's some classics here, or not classics really, but excellent films that are going to be ranked in here. And that doesn't mean that they're bad necessarily. In fact, I actually like a lot of these films. It's just that they don't deserve the hype and whatnot that they get. Some of these movies I hate with a passion, too, so... But anyway, we're going to start with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from 1932. What it's considered one of horror's first great masterpieces, and the best adaptation of Robert Louis Stevenson's classic novel. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a really good movie. Don't get me wrong, but it's far from the best version of this. In my opinion, the silent horror movie, the silent version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with John Barrymore, who I think is Drew Barrymore's grandpa. To me, it's a lot better. And, hi, Dylan. But anyway, it's a good movie, and the special effects are really neat. It kind of looks like a Missing Link type monster. But Dr. Jekyll's kind of a douche in this movie. He's not very likable. And in this kind of adaptation, you gotta have Dr. Jekyll be at least nice to contrast him with Mr. Hyde. But, alright, moving on. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, again, 1941 version. Now, this is a piece of shit. Now, I put the 1932 version in this overrated films, and I do think it's overrated, but I still think it's a really good movie. But the 1941 version is garbage. It's stale. It's boring. Spencer Tracy is gruesomely overrated as an actor. I do not understand why people think he's such a great actor, and he plays Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and he does a lousy job. This is basically a Hollywood whitewash version of the movie. And Ingrid Bergman's in here, and she's hot, and that's about the only good thing I can say about this crap. So, unlike the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde 32, which I do like, I do not like 41 at all. It's crap. And obviously, I'm going in order from the eras. So, right now, we're in the 40s. White Zombie. I hate to put this one one here because White Zombie is literally the first literal zombie movie. And I am a zombie. Anyone who knows me knows I love zombies. I live zombies. George Romero, he's a god to me. But the thing is, this isn't the Romero zombies. He created his own version. This is just zombies where it's just uh, these like voodoo guys turn these people into slaves and stuff. That does nothing for me. And I have to give it props because it was the first zombie movie, so it does deserve that. John Carpenter's The Thing is the best. John Carpenter's The Thing is a masterpiece. It is by far the greatest Alien movie and the greatest remake. I wouldn't say it's the greatest of all time. Halloween is better. But there's not that many movies better than The Thing, and I agree. The Thing is a masterpiece. But no, The Thing is not overrated at all. Not by a... Ooh, I don't know. Alright, anyway, but the thing about White Zombie, it has Bela Lugosi, and Bela Lugosi at the time was a great actor. He got addicted to not heroin. He got addicted to morphine, and he started doing crappy jobs just to support his morphine habit. But this movie, it's just boring to me. I mean, it is revolutionary in a way, but yeah. Moving on, Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah, I'm going to get hate mail for this one. Bride of Frankenstein is not just considered a classic, it's also considered probably the greatest universal horror film. And this is a case where I actually like this film a lot. I like Bride of Frankenstein a lot. And it was revolutionary, there's no doubt about it. It was the first real horror sequel. So it deserves credit for that. But the thing about it is it's heavily based on humor, and the humor is just not funny. There's like this old hag chick that just screams at the top of her lungs all the time, and that's supposed to be funny. And there's this really weird thing where these tiny like fairy people dance and stuff. It's just... there's some really dopey things about it. Now, don't get me wrong though, it is a very good film. And it does make the Frankenstein's monster very sympathetic. You know, you really feel sorry for him in this movie, and he does get screwed. I mean, this guy, he makes a scientist, he's really lonely because he's ugly and no one gives him a chance. So he has this scientist build him a bride, but she ends up liking the other Dr. Frankenstein instead of him. So then he just commits suicide at the end. He says, if I'm not going to find love, I might as well just commit suicide. It's a very sad movie. But just you get a mixture of weird humor that doesn't fit with the rest of the really deep themes, and it's just, the mood is just wishy-washy. But I do like it a lot. I would definitely give it a B+. And it's very influential. Just because I'm saying it's overrated doesn't mean it's bad or that I don't like it. I actually like it a good deal. It's just that it's not near as good as people say. It's definitely not the greatest universal horror film. And to me, the original Frankenstein is a lot better. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That's supposedly the first great horror comedy. For me, it's not funny at all. It doesn't do anything for me. It is cool to see, like, Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman all together, but they did that better in movies like House of Frankenstein and Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. Funny movie. Speaking of The Thing, we're going to talk about the original Thing, not the classic remake. The original Thing is very influential, and it's very revolutionary because it was the first horror alien movie. Not the first alien movie, but the first horror alien movie, if that makes sense. And it is a very good film, but it's definitely not as good as the classic John Carpenter remake. And it's a little slow moving, and the special effects are a little corny, especially compared to the jaw-dropping effects of the remake. But it's a very good film, but it's a little overrated. Okay, The Old Dark House. That was supposedly a James Whale classic. To me, it's just I call it the Old Dark House where nothing happens. I don't know why people think it's a great movie. It's boring to me. Uh, the Dracula Hammer version. I'm going to get hate mail for this one. Here's the thing. Christopher Lee was a great Dracula. I'm not saying he's not. He's definitely one of the greatest Draculas of all time. It's just that he's not in any good movies. It's not his fault. He's the best part of every movie he's in. But I don't like the Hammer version of Dracula. It's basically like a Cliff Notes version of the novel, but there's not enough Dracula in there, and it's just slow moving, and it just doesn't do anything for me. It's boring to me. Now, Dracula 1931, the Spanish version. This is, you see, a long time ago, instead of sending movies into foreign versions, they would make the same movie but with a foreign cast. So at night they made Dracula with the Bela Lugosi, which is a classic, and during the day it was a Spanish version for Spanish audiences, or maybe it was the other way around. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, there's a lot of people that hate Bela Lugosi's Dracula because they have a corn up their ass, I guess. And a lot of people say the Spanish version's better. Well, those people are full of shit because the Spanish version is corny. The guy is a Bela Lugosi wannabe. He's really corny. The only thing that is better than in the original Bela Lugosi version is that there's a lot of hot chicks in there, and that's about it. Peeping Tom. It is one of the first slashers. I don't know why people love this movie so much. To me, it's a bore. Basically, this guy, he kills women with a tripod that has a stabbing thing on it so he can film them die, which I guess it's voyeurism. You're supposed to be revolutionary and shocking. To me, it's just shocking how boring this movie is. But not near as boring as Repulsion. Anyone who knows me knows that I do not like Roman Polanski. To me, he's one of the most gruesomely overrated directors who ever lived. Yes, I don't even like Rosemary's Baby, which will be on here also. The only movie I like from Roman Polanski is The Tenant. To me, he is so artsy for art's sake, and he's pompous, and he's boring. He does nothing for me. Repulsion is supposedly about this chick that's sexually repulsed and she goes crazy. But this is one of those movies where nothing happens the entire time. You're supposed to be scared. Ooh, it's creepy. It's dark, filmed dark and so what, but nothing happens. I can't get excited about movies where nothing happens. I'm sorry. And Repulsion, one of the most boring supposed classics of all time. And here's a movie, Black Christmas 1974. Underrated in its time, but it's overrated now. And don't get me wrong, it's very influential. For instance, Halloween, which is my favorite movie of all time, it was originally conceived as a sequel to Black Christmas. And there's a lot of cool things about it, but you can't get over the fact that the middle is really boring and nothing happens in the whole middle. You don't like any of the characters. It's kind of slow moving. It's a little boring. There's no gore. And it's a very influential movie. It's a good movie. But it's and it was definitely in its time it was completely overlooked. Now it's considered a classic by people who hate Halloween or think it's overrated, and they have corns up their asses also. But nah. Black Christmas is a good movie, but it's not a classic. Carrie, 1976. Brian De Palma is another one of those overrated directors, and Carrie deserves credit for being the first Stephen King movie adaptation, but as far as, it's a good movie for sure, but it's not a classic by any means. Sissy Spacek does a great job as Carrie. She definitely does a much better job than Chloe Grace Moretz, and yeah. I think that one chick did a pretty good job. Angela Bates, I think. But anyway, moving on. The Hills Have Eyes from 1977. This is Wes Craven. And it's considered one of his first classics, but it does nothing for me. To me, it's just a Texas Chainsaw Massacre ripoff. And if you guys got any questions or you want to argue or disagree with the list or say that something isn't overrated or say that something is underrated or whatever, be my guest. Just be respectful. Invasion of the Body Snatchers remake. Now, the thing about it is, I used to hate this movie, but it has grown on me over the years, but it's still not that good a movie. I think it's okay. I mean, it's an okay movie. The special effects are really good, but I just don't like the characters, and putting it in a big city doesn't work. It's not that great. The Nosferatu remake, but this is the Werner Herzog. To me, it's artsy for art's sake, and it's boring. Hi, I can't pronounce your name, but how you doing? Alright, remember, like and subscribe, unless you're not going to stay subscribed. But if you're going to stay subscribed, I'd love to have you. I am from Missouri in America. And yes, I know I have a hillbilly voice. That's why I call this channel the Hillbilly Review Channel. Now, When a Stranger Calls, great opening scene, but the rest of the movie sucks. That pretty much says it all, don't it? A Zombie, Lucio Fulci. You're from Iran, wow. You're probably going to get, I'm surprised the government don't crack down on you for watching this. They don't really like Western stuff very much. But I'm glad to have you, man. Zombie is the Lucio Fulci version. It's considered a zombie classic. And to me, it's very gory, which is always fun. And the music is fantastic. And the zombies themselves are great. But there isn't, just like Lucio Fulci's usual style, there's no story. It's just nothing but one gore scene after another. And it's an okay movie, but not a classic. The Changeling, that's a ghost movie that everyone loves except for me. To me, it's boring. The Fog, I'm going to get hate mail for this one. Everyone loves The Fog except for me, and I don't understand it, the appeal. I mean, it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know what to say, and it was prime John Carpenter. It was Carpenter in his prime, but it just doesn't do anything for me. Okay, Maniac, that's a super gory movie. A lot of people are shocked by it, but because the guy skins people's heads, and I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me personally. The Crazy, I better skip that one. The Crazies is considered one of George Romero's early classics, and when I only seen it one time, and I didn't like it the first time I saw it, but I was young when I saw it, so I'm not going to stand by this. I'll probably watch it again to give it a fresh chance. I have a feeling this is one I might like better on a second viewing. Okay, Rabbit and Shivers. Those are David Cronenberg body horror movies. A lot of people, I like David Cronenberg a lot, but these two movies don't do it for me. Don't Look Now. It's considered like a ghost classic, but there's a really hot sex scene in there with Julie Christie, and she's hot in it. Other than that, this movie does nothing for me, and it bores me to tears. Alright, here's some good, fresh hate mail. The Shining. Yes, I'm saying The Shining's overrated, but I do like it a lot. Do not get me wrong. It's an excellent film. The Shining is one of the best ghost movies. But you have people that say it's some people say it's even the greatest horror film of all time. And these people are they're completely overlooking the obvious flaws. The acting is terrible. I mean, Shelley Duvall is painful to watch. Jack Nicholson is great as Crazy Jack, but he's lousy as normal Jack. I don't think the kid's that good an actor. Really, the best actor is the black dude, and he doesn't show up that much. And the movie is so slow-moving and too long. And there's truly great parts in The Shining. The music is great. Once Jack Nicholson goes crazy, he's fantastic. But I just don't get why people think it's such a scary movie. I don't get it. I mean, it's an excellent movie. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying I dislike it, but I'm not saying I don't think it's a classic. I think it's just a really good movie. American Werewolf in London. A lot of people say it's the best werewolf movie of all time. I think The Wolfman is still the OG and the best. It's a very good movie. Don't get me wrong about that. But I don't think it's near as funny as it thinks it is, if that makes sense. The Beyond, that's another Lucio Fulci movie. And it's better than Zombie, just because it has more gore and it has more action. But it's the same thing. Great music, great gore, great special effects, and no story at all. And I like story. I mean, I like a gore scene as much as the next guy, but give me a story. Poltergeist, that one's going to get some hate mail. Someone from Nepal, how you doing? Hey, Anchor. Nice to see you, bud. I'm getting a lot of foreign people here, and I like it. Poltergeist is considered a classic. It's another Steven Spielberg. It's actually Tobe Hooper directed it, but it's obviously a Steven Spielberg movie in tone and everything. And just like everything's, John, my name's John, but the channel's called the Hillbilly Review Channel. But, just about, there's three movies that Steven Spielberg has made that's not gruesomely overrated. One of them's Hook, and the other two are Jurassic Park and Saving Private Ryan. Those two are legitimate classics. But this is another one of those Steven Spielberg movies that's overrated to me. It's a good movie, but it's overrated. Another movie I'm going to get hate mail for, Reanimator. I like Reanimator, don't get me wrong about that. I just don't think it's a zombie classic like everyone else does. But the scene where the severed head gives a chick head is really funny, I gotta say. That one is funny. It is a good movie, but it's overrated. Blue Velvet, it's considered a classic David Lynch movie. And I like David Lynch, by the way. Hollywood. But David Lynch, his movies are really weird. They don't make a lot of sense, but they're really cool. And Blue Velvet was the first David Lynch movie I ever saw. And and that was a big mistake watching it first. Because I watched it and I hated it. And I still hate it. To me, I don't understand why people love this movie. To me, it's just boring garbage. But I made up my mind that David Lynch wasn't worth discovering because of this movie. And that was a big mistake. Because every other horror movie he's made after that is good. Eraserhead is a legitimately near classic movie. And luckily, that's the movie that turned me on to Lynch. But I almost made a big mistake and never watched another Lynch movie ever again because I hated Blue Velvet so much. April Fool's Day, I don't really think it's overrated. I have it on here, but the plot twist is really neat because it ends up, the whole movie is nothing but a April Fool's joke. So that part of it's kind of neat. And it has Amy Steele, who's the hot blonde from Friday the 13th Part 2. But April Fool's Day, other than the cool plot twist at the end and the fact that Amy Steele is nice to look at, that movie doesn't do nothing for me. But it really doesn't have that good of a reputation. I don't know why I put it here. Terminator. Terminator is not a horror movie, so we won't be discussing it here. But I have a video of it, Anchor. Go to my channel, subscribe to my channel, and go to my Terminator video if you want to know my opinion of Terminator. And by the way, just like everyone else, I think it's a classic. I don't think it's a horror movie like some people think, but it is a great movie, no doubt about it. House 2, The Second Story. This is a horror comedy, and it's considered better than the original, even though you really don't hear much about it these days. But it's dopey. I mean, it's a decent little movie. It's got Bill Maher in it, and I hate Bill Maher, so that may be a little biased. But the original House is better for sure, and the second one, it's interesting, but it's not really. I'm from America, Anchor. But House 2, it's an okay movie. Here's some hate mail. Everyone get ready to get your pitchforks. Aliens. Yes, Aliens is overrated. I know I'm going to get hate mail for this one. If anyone, there's so many people that think Aliens is a great movie. There's a lot of people that think it's better than the original. I disagree strongly both ways. And it's definitely heavier on the action than the horror. And to me, the action's not good. I don't know what you people are smoking. It's a good movie. I'm not saying it's not. But the idea that it's better than Alien, to me, it's a lot noisier and there's a lot more stuff going on, but it doesn't have the great atmosphere. The new characters that everyone loves don't really do anything for me personally. And I just don't know why people love Aliens so much. The Stepfather, I have it here. It's not really overrated. It's not a very good movie. I'm just going to skip it. All right, Candyman. And no, I don't hate Candyman because I'm a secret Klansman. Because it's not true. Because it is better. I appreciate your opinion, buddy. Anyone who disagrees, as long as you're respectful, just let me have it. I like a good debate. But Candyman, a lot of my subscribers are black, which is funny because this is called the Hillbilly Review Channel. I was a little afraid to call it that because I was afraid that black people would think I was like some racist guy, which is far from the case. But I actually have a lot of black people that subscribe to my channel, and I love every single one of them. But no, I do not hate Candyman because it's has a black serial killer. In fact, I like Tony Todd a lot. He does a good job as Candyman. It's just that the movie's boring, that's all. I don't like it. The music by Philip Glass is incredible, but the actual movie does nothing for me. Okay, Get Out Stunt. Oh, thank you, Bipolar Bear. By the way, I've seen you before, my man. Do you have a girlfriend? Not at the moment, no. I wish that wasn't the case, but I don't. 28 years later, oh, come on, man. 28 years later is good, man. I'm sorry. I really don't know why people hate that one. But Get Out is a piece of shit. Thank you, Bipolar Bear. I will get to it. I'm going to get to it soon. Thank you for bringing that up. Alex, you got a right to your opinion. But I disagree. I think 28 years later, I actually like it the best. I'm not saying it's better than 28 Days Later, because it's not. But I actually like it. You just got to get into the hate from Crowe. Yes, Get Out is a piece of shit. Thank you. Thank you, Bipolar Bear. I have seen you before, my man. Do you have a job in your country? Yes, I do. I work on the farm, and I also run a dog kennel. And I'm hoping to get monetized in this YouTube channel, hopefully someday. I'm not what you would call rich, but I actually have 2 jobs. Neither one of them pay a huge amount, but I do have 2 jobs. Thank you. Anyway, moving on. So what if you're not married? I am in my 40. Well, I'm 37 and I'm not married, and that sucks. But it's better to not have the right one than to be with the wrong one. Because in 2024, which was last year, I thought I was going to marry this one chick, and she turned out to be a cunt. Have you visited Nepal? No, I haven't. I've been to Canada, and Canada's a shit. state, by the way, but I have been to Canada, and unfortunately, that's it. But yeah, I thought this chick was the one, man. She left me for another guy, and she treated me like shit, and I put up with way too much shit dealing with her. But I'm glad I didn't end up marrying her. That's where I live, Canada. No offense, man. I'm not saying Canadians are all bad. I'm just saying I don't like Canada as a country. But anyway, it's better to be alone than to have the wrong one. But yes, I'm still looking for my June Carter. But I'm not here to give people advice. China? No, I've never been to China. And I'm never going to be as long as the communists run that country. I would love... Alien was made in 79. Two different... Yeah, I like Alien a lot. Alien is an excellent film. And don't get me wrong, I like Aliens. I just don't think it's a great movie that everyone else does. I can't anchor, I can't read that. I don't read anything but English. I'm sorry, you'll have to translate to English for me. But anyway, enough of my love history. Let's get over that crap. I didn't come here to discuss my love life. And I'm sure you guys don't want to hear it. So, Land of the Dead. This movie was so disappointing. I am a God-fearing George Romero fan. I mean, I do everything but worship at the guy's altar. The three Living Dead movies, they're not just the greatest zombie... Yes, thank you. Skeleton Key was okay. Get Out is a piece of shit. I completely agree with that. And I'm going to get to that. Just hang in there with me, my man. But Land of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead is my second favorite horror movie. Dawn of the Dead is my sixth favorite horror movie. Day of the Dead, actually no, Day of the Dead is my sixth favorite. Dawn of the Dead is my seventh favorite. So, 3 zombie movies, all in the top 10, and they're all the best zombie movies, and they're all done by the same guy. So when Land of the Dead came out, I was super excited. Super excited. And I saw it in the theaters. It was a packed theater. There was this hippie guy that was kind of smelly next to me, but other than that, I was really excited, man. And it just wasn't that good. It's not a bad movie by any means. It's decent. And I actually agree with the social commentary of that one. But it is... How about Dawn remake with Ving Rhames? It is overrated, but it is a good movie. I saw it in the theaters also. And if you're asking me if it's a good movie, yes. Dawn of the Dead, the remake, is one of the best running zombie movies. If you're asking me if it's better than the original, hell no. If you're asking me if it's a classic, hell no. But I do like it. And I saw it during the best year of my life, so I have nostalgia for it. But anyway, Land of the Dead is so... It's not that it's a bad movie. Hey, Wakab, I've seen you before too, my man. But here's the thing. How are you? I'm fine. Still haven't seen Cargo yet. Bollywood movies. I've never seen... remember Cargo 2000. I tried to look it up, my man. I am going to stream it really soon. I will. I'm working on it. I can't find it in the stores. So I've looked everywhere, so I'm going to look for the streaming. But I will see that movie. I promise you. And I'll let you know what I think of it. But anyway, thanks for the comments, guys. Sometimes you get up here and no one talks. And it's just kind of, you're like, am I just talking to myself? But it's awesome that you want me to send you the link. Sure, man. As long as it doesn't have viruses and shit. But Land of the Dead, it's not that it's a bad movie, because it's not. It's just so much worse than the rest of them. Than the first 3, I mean. Kronos, that's a vampire movie. I think that's Guillermo del Toro's first movie. Have to turn translator. I'm kind of stupid when it comes to electronics. But I'll try to figure that out. So, I definitely want to see it. At least so I can tell you about it, what I think about it. But Chronos, Doghouse, I think I've seen that. Is it a horror movie? I think I've seen a movie called that. I think it was okay. I can't, I've seen so many movies, it's really hard to, you know, I've seen well over 1,000 horror movies alone. But Chronos, I do not like Guillermo del Toro. For one thing, he's really left-wing, and I'm conservative, and I don't want to get into politics, but he's basically a communist, and yeah, I don't think so. And his movies are gruesomely overrated, and so is Chronos. It is overrated. But not as overrated as the Blair Witch Project. The Blair Witch Project is one of the worst horror movies ever made, and I will stand by that, and I will be on a court of law. I will be on trial. I will be under oath. The Blair Witch Project is one of the worst horror movies of all time. It is so freaking boring. Wedding, I don't think I've seen that. But the whole thing is, it's like the real world. It's like a really bad, long episode of the real world. They go around looking for this witch. They never find the witch. I guess the witch kills them, but you don't see the witch. And they just go around, and the camera hurts your head. It's like having a epileptic seizure watching it. And the effects, like the camera work is terrible. And it's just three unlikable people cursing at each other for an hour and 20 minutes. Boring. And I hate reality TV. Life is Wife. Never seen that one either. But no, I hate the Blair Witch Project. I'll probably do a vid. I may do a video of it this month. Jeepers Creepers. A lot of people love this movie. I don't. And it's not because the director is a pedophile. I'm one of these people that I believe you should separate the art from the artist. There's tons of stuff I love that I hate the people who made it. My favorite singer is John Lennon. I hate John Lennon as a person. He was a terrible human being, but he was the best singer who ever lived, the greatest musical genius since, like, frickin' Beethoven. But anyway, Jeepers Creepers, the guy who did it, by the way, he also did a movie called Clown House, and he was a pedophile, and he liked to play with the little boys on his set a little too much, if you know what I mean. So, and he directed Jeepers Creepers. And, well, I respect you, man. Do you remember Russian singer with this really high voice? I can't say that I do. His name is Vitus. Is he like a rock person? But anyway, Jeepers Creepers, I don't like it. I respect you, Jim. You like it, and I'm glad you got enjoyment out of it. I don't. And I don't like it because I hate the director, which I do. I don't like it because I just think it's boring and it doesn't do anything for me. But it's everyone's personal taste, you know. 28 days later, I know I'm going to get hate mail from that guy. 28 Days Later is probably one of the most influential movies of the last 30 years. There's no doubt about it. It and Resident Evil literally saved the zombie genre from extinction. And just because of that, it deserves credit. But I don't like running zombies, that's part of it. And to me, it's one of those movies that's too busy. There's way too much shit going on. And I don't like the characters because I don't get to know the characters. I actually do like the hot black chick. But the rest of them, I just don't... You don't get to spend enough time with them. There's just too much stuff going on. It is a very good movie, by the way. It's one of those movies that I like, but I don't love, if that makes sense. The Ring, however, that movie's boring. I don't know why you guys think it's so scary. You're supposed to watch a crappy-looking VHS tape. I love VHSs, by the way, but the movie they watch on the movie is crappy. And this girl comes out of the TV, and you're supposed to be, woo, scared. No, it doesn't, it's just boring to me. The Sixth Sense. It's considered M. Night Shyamalan's best movie. Not to me. You like The Ring? I respect your opinion, my man. I disagree, but it's not a hill I'll die for. Like, I will die on a hill saying Get Out and Blair Witch Project is pieces of shit. Maybe I just didn't get it. Some movies you just don't get. But The Sixth Sense, I like it. I like Bruce Willis is a great actor, or he was. I think he's kind of suffering from Alzheimer's, which is sad. But The Sixth Sense, the thing about it is if you really study the history of horror, no, it wasn't, my man. I'm sorry, Bipolar Bear. I love you, brother, but Blair Witch was not a smart movie. You could go out with a homemade camera with no script and make up a better movie than it. Yeah, that was a good. They told people it was real, so that helped for sure. But people were stupid enough to believe it was real. But anyway, The Sixth Sense is a ripoff of Carnival of Souls, which is a masterpiece of horror. Carnival of Souls is a classic. It's the best ghost movie ever made. And the plot twist at the end, Sixth Sense ripped it off. So I cannot love The Sixth Sense because of that. But I do like the movie. But it is not a classic. Shaun of the Dead. I like Shaun of the Dead. I don't love Shaun of the Dead. I don't think it's near as funny as it thinks it is or what people think it is. But it is a fun movie. It's just not a great movie. Every once in a while, and this is rare, but it does happen. Get Out, especially, is an example. There will be a movie that comes out that, for whatever reason, the critics love. And the critics usually hate horror. But every once in a while, they will pick and choose a movie they'll like. And The Descent was one of those movies. The Descent does have a legitimately great beginning. And the monsters themselves are cool. Other than that, I don't like any of the characters. To me, it's boring. I don't know why you guys love The Descent so much. It is 100 times better than Get Out, though. I will say that. House of a Thousand Corpses. I hate to crap on Rob Zombie because I love his music. I grew up on his music. He was the first metal artist. I found one horror movie, but you will need to write it down so later you can find it. Okay, just put it down here, my man. Just let me know. But House of a Thousand... Rob Zombie was my first metal... he was my gateway drug to metal. So I'll always have a Semya... alright, I'm going to write that down. Semya Verd... It must be from your country. Valakov. Okay, I got it wrote down. I'll check it out. See if I can stream it or whatever. But as much as I like Rob Zombie's music, he cannot direct. I'm sorry. Devil's Rejects, he did a good job with that, but that was a fluke. House of a Thousand Corpses is just an extra gory version of Verdalodakov. Double check it. Who puts the toilet seat on his neck and what? I don't know who that guy is. I'm sorry. I really don't watch a lot of YouTube other than videos. But House of a Thousand Corpses, my opinion of it is that it's just a modern Texas Chainsaw Massacre ripoff. I wish I could say I liked it, but I don't. Martyrs. This is a super gory movie from France. It's considered one of those movies that you watch it and you can't be the same ever again. Thoughts on John Carpenter's The Thing? Obviously, you weren't here at the very beginning because I already said that John Carpenter's The Thing is the greatest horror remake of all time. It's easily one of the 20 greatest horror movies of all time. It's the best alien horror movie of all time. Other than Halloween, it's my favorite John Carpenter movie. Does that answer your question? Sphere. I don't think it's a horror movie necessarily, but I remember liking it, I think. They're easy, and very few are really great. There's no Goodfellas of horror. No, Halloween is the Goodfellas of horror, my man. Basically, it's a horror movie about family curses and how guy becomes a ghoul. Okay, sounds cool. I like that kind of stuff. So, Volverda, something Kov. I'll check it out. In Soviet times, you must be from Russia, are you from Russia? Macabre Sphere is terrible. What John Carpenter, he is the third greatest horror director of all time. I would put Wes Craven just barely ahead of him, and I already say I worship George Romero, but Ukraine is basically the same culture and the same people as Russia, except you guys are fighting each other, which is sad. But Ukraine, yeah. Stalin, he ran your country in the 40s, and you guys, he did such a lousy job that a lot of you guys starved to death and turned to cannibalism. At least that's what I'm taught, from Ukraine in the 1940s. Joseph Stalin was a horrible man. But anyway, moving on. Can't wait to see Conjuring Last Rites. Here's the thing, Bugsy. I like the original Conjuring, and I don't like the rest of them, and I'm not looking forward to this one. I hope I'm wrong. Bro, Russians has their monsters, and we have ours. Yeah, but the Ukraine was ran by Stalin at that time. Bipolar Bear, you don't like The Conjuring? The Conjuring's good. Do a backflip? No, I will not. I don't know if I could physically. I'm too fat now. But Martyrs, that's a movie that you're supposed to never be the same again after you see it. And it is a super gory movie. But I've seen worse. Like V movie. Have you seen? It's about Cossacks. I've seen V before. Isn't it vampires? Does it have something to do with vampires? V-I-Y. But Martyrs, it is not the shock masterpiece that a lot of people say it is. It does have some really deep themes. Like, these people are trying to prove if there's an afterlife, so they try to torment this person until they have a near-death experience. It's complicated, but I did not have the emotional experience that everyone else seems to have. But I do think it's a good movie. If you think Martyrs is disturbing, watch Salo, and you will have a nervous breakdown. That movie is legitimately disturbing, man. Supernatural horrors are overrated. Sci-fi flicks fit them. Ghost movies, they are a little bit hit and miss. Some of them are really good, and some of them are really boring. It just kind of depends. Ghost Adventures. I've never seen Ghost Adventures. I have seen something similar, though. Kozak was reading Bible in the abandoned church. Antichrist. I have seen Antichrist. It's decent. It's weird. Doesn't a guy like get his nuts crushed in a rock or something? Lars von Trier's a weirdo. Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby is overrated. Now, I like the plot. The plot is good. And the part where she gets raped by Satan is really shocking. But the movie is just long and boring. And honestly, the end is great, but it's just Roman Polanski. He's really pompous and artsy and annoying and boring, and he does nothing for me. I'm wearing shades because I don't like how I look on camera. That's why. It's not because I think I'm cool, because I know I'm not cool. That's why. Blade 2. Another gruesomely overrated movie by Del Toro. I really don't even like it. Stoned. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, my man. If there's a good Lifetime type movie, that's it. And Rebecca De Mornay, when I see her, I go, twing! Smoking hot. The Ninth Gate, I actually don't even like that one. I do like Johnny Depp. I've seen Nobody. I don't remember anything about it, though. Black Swan. I know why you guys like it. You like it because of the lesbian sex scene. And yes, that is exciting. But the movie itself, is pompous, and I don't, God, who's the guy who directs it? I don't like the director. He's really pompous too. But the Black Swan, other than that scene, which I admit is tantalizing, the movie itself doesn't do anything for me. I hate to say this, man, but I don't like dog soldiers. I'm sorry about that. In all fairness, I'm not really much of a werewolf person. But then again, I only saw it once. Maybe if I gave it a chance, I would have a different opinion of it. Not in the Bible, it is. What are you referring to, Ada? What's not in the Bible? Hacksaw Ridge, that's a war movie, I think, isn't it? No, I am not a furry. I am not a furry. No, I am not. Um, I don't know what to say about that, except no, I'm not. Get Out! Bipolar Bear, are you still there? Get Out is a piece of shit. Unless you're a person, CIA monitoring division. Are you into furries or something, man? Get Out is a piece of shit, man. Get Out is like a Spike Lee horror movie, and I hate Spike Lee. Spike Lee has dedicated his whole career to saying how racist America is and how much white people are terrible and how they want to keep the black man down, and that's just not true. My entire life, I live in Missouri. Certainly not a liberal state by any means. And I've only met one actual racist my entire life. So, Jordan Peele, he's one of those black guys that thinks he's got a white wife, but he thinks he's super black. You know the type. I hate Spike Lee, man. The only thing he did that was good was Malcolm X, and that's just because Denzel Washington is one of the best actors who ever lived. He made that movie. Sigourney Weaver, Alien. Sigourney Weaver's one of the best final girls. Definitely. But Get Out, it's one of those movies, the black man's being put down by the white man. If you're one of those really left-wing types that think there's Klansmen around every corner, you'll love this movie. And most critics are that type. I am not, and I did not like this movie. I hate Get Out. I don't like being told I'm a racist for an hour and a half when I'm not. And this woke shit's got to stop. The Green Mile, it's not a horror movie, but it is a classic. I agree. The Green Mile is a masterpiece. It's Skeleton Key, same plot. Skeleton Key. Kind of. All right. The It remake. Yes, okay, I don't hate the hate. Here's the thing. I love It 1990. That was one of the greatest movies of my childhood. Man, I love that movie. I would die for that movie. Okay, not really, but you know what I mean, man. It's one of the... When I was a kid, it actually scared me. And I don't get scared of anything, no matter what. The Nun. Chucky is definitely better than Annabelle. There's only one good Annabelle movie. Never seen Weapons. I hear it doesn't seem like something I would be interested in, but I can't be fair about it because I ain't seen it. The Nun, other than having a cool villain, is really not good. Chucky, the original Chuckies were awesome. The later ones suck balls. The Exorcist, Bugsy, go to my channel, subscribe, and I have a video for The Exorcist, and my man, it is actually my most popular video. And I actually make the case that it's a Christian horror movie. Yeah, and check it out, Bugsy. Go to my channel, subscribe, and watch The Exorcist. You will not be disappointed. Exorcism of God. I don't like that one. But man, the remake, I was really super excited at the time because I thought it would cause people to... Because I grew up on the original It, and I love the book also. Even though that group sex scene at the end is creepy. Stephen King's a weirdo, I'm sorry. He's a great writer, or he used to be a great writer, but man, that guy's weird. And not the good kind of weird like Prince. I mean, like the creepy weird. Anyway, a lot of people consider the It. I like all Exorcist movies, every one of them. Well, a lot of Exorcist movies to me are rip-offs of the original classic, but you need to see The Exorcism of Emily Rose, Bugsy. If you haven't seen that one, you'll love that one. I don't love Exorcist movies, but I do. There is a few that I really enjoy. The original is obviously a classic. It's what he was making them. Cocaine is what he was making them movies. Ghost Rider, Nicolas Cage. I dig me some Nicolas Cage, but that one, not so much. But isn't it sad what happened to Nicolas Cage? I mean, in the 90s, he was an A-list star, and now he only stars in, like, B-budget crap. It's really sad what's happened to that guy. But anyway, back to the It remake. I'm a woman, by the way. Oh, Bugsy, if I called you a man, I'm sorry about that. But, ma'am, check out my Exorcist review. And for that matter, subscribe and watch all my horror crap and just watch everything. Just binge watch. If you guys love horror movies, go to my channel, subscribe, and watch everything I've done that's horror. Those are my most popular ones. It's my dog's name, Bugsy. I love dogs. My best friend was a dog, Bugsy Malone. Well, God bless Bugsy Malone. I'm sure she's a wonderful dog. My name is Marina Bridge. Well, hi, Marina. Nice to see you. I'm trying to get through it. Thanks for your comments, everybody. But I saw it in the theaters, and it was packed, and I thought it was okay at the time. I love pugs. Pugs are adorable. I used to work at a kennel. There was a dog that was a hound dog, and there was a pug with her. And I called the hound dog Elvis, and I called the pug Priscilla. But yes, pugs are adorable. And if you love dogs, I have a bunch of dog videos on my channel too, Marina. Check those out. But back to the It remake. It's not a bad movie. It's decent-ish. Anyone know what the new Conjuring is like? I have not seen it. I'm not looking forward to it because I only like the original. But I will see it, and I'll give it a fair shake. But the 2017 version, all you people that think it's better than the original, you're full of shit. That movie doesn't have an ounce of the heart of the original. Even the special effects, they're all computers. Why do you guys love computer stuff so much? I will take, but I'm gonna guess it's slocky garbage. The It remake, the thing about it is, there's a lot of people that say it's better than the original, and guess what? You're all wrong. The original is a classic. The guy who plays him, God, what's his name? God. Whoever the guy is who plays Pennywise, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's a good actor, but he does a lousy Pennywise. He just comes off as a weird pedophile guy. He doesn't come off as a scary clown or nothing. But the computer effects, I will take crappy practical effects over computer effects any day. I hate computer effects. To me, that is cheesy and fake looking. Pennywise, he's just weird. He's not scary. He's just creepy, like a child molester's creepy. I like the kids, and that's about the only thing I can say about that movie. I mean, it's okay. I would give it a B-, which means it's a little better than mediocre. The It Chapter 2 is a piece of shit. And I don't think there's many people who would argue with me about that one. But maybe I would hate the It remake less if people didn't think it was so great. But that is not one of the best remakes. It's not even it's not even a particularly good remake. I've seen a lot of movies like the Dawn of the Dead remake. It was a lot better. Bill Skarsgård. Yes, I do. Bill Skarsgård. He reminds me of just like a weird child molester guy. He made a really good Nosferatu, though, Count Orlok. I'm not saying he's a good actor. He's just bad in that role. Thanksgiving, ma'am. I almost said ma'am. Sorry, Marina. I'll call you by your first name. Thanksgiving, I like that movie, but I cannot watch it anymore. And it's not because it's personal reasons. I broke up with the girl that I thought was going to be my wife on that day. On the day I watched it. Scream is rubbish. Scream, if you're talking about Scream 5 from the reboot, yes, that movie is terrible. The original Scream, however, is one of the best horror movies of all time. But Thanksgiving, I watched it when I broke up with my girlfriend. And I think of her every time I watch it, and it just bothers me, man. Ma'am, sorry. So I'll never watch it again, but I did like it. Michael Myers is a god. Michael Myers is the greatest monster of all time, and Halloween is the greatest horror movie of all time. It's actually my favorite movie of all time. By the way, check out my Michael Myers shirt, Bugsy, Marina. You know what? Since we're getting such a good reaction, I wrote this list in 2018, so I'm going to go to list of horror movies by decade, and I'm going to go to the decades that I missed. Freddy Krueger. He's overrated, but I do like Freddy Krueger. Do not get me wrong about that. I just don't think he's near as great as everyone says. I've got some Michael Myers socks. Well, that's great, ma'am. I wish I had some Michael Myers socks. That's a William Shatner shirt. Well, technically, the Michael Myers mask was based on William Shatner. He was in a horror movie called The Devil's Reign, and they stole the mask from that, and they just kind of painted it differently. But yes, it is William Shatner, but I don't care. All right, we're going to Wikipedia here now, folks. And 2019, and I'm just going to go find random movies that I think are overrated. I'm just going off of my top of my head here, so. There. Dr. Sleep. Dr. Sleep was underrated in its time, and it's overrated now. It is a good movie, though. It's one movie where I actually like it better than the book. To me, the book was crappy. I actually think the movie version of Dr. Sleep is actually better. I'm just going through I'm just going through here, and Midsummer. Some people love that movie and some people hate it. I'm in the middle. I wouldn't say it's overrated, though, because I don't know a lot of people that really think it's that great. Okay, we'll go to the 2020s, and then we'll stop there. All right, 2020. A Quiet Place. I'm probably going to get hate mail for this one. I don't like The Quiet Place at all. It actually has a decent plot, but I don't get it, people. Why do you think? To me, it's just boring. I don't know. Maybe it's just not my kind of movie. To me, it's kind of slow moving, and it's kind of boring. I don't know. A lot of people like A Quiet Place, and I don't. It is better than the crappy sequels, but I don't like it. Freaky. And by the way, I'm just going through these randomly. Sputnik was a good movie, but it's not. The Invisible Man remake. I like it fine. The original, though, is a masterpiece. The one, the black and white movie with Claude Rains, that movie's a legitimate masterpiece. It really should be mentioned along with Frankenstein and Dracula and Wolfman and those type of movies. The remake is okay. I mean, it's decent. I don't know why people think it's so great, though. It's considered, some people think it's better than the original. I don't get that. But it is an okay movie. All right, 2021. By the way, the 2020s are turning out to be a really shitty decade. Does anyone else agree with me on that? The only good year the whole decade has been 2021. All right. And I'm going by Wikipedia here. Sorry about the lagging, but I had something prepared, and I'm actually going farther than Fear Street. The Fear Street movies from Netflix are trashy. And I did like the original books. I grew up on Goosebumps. I like me. They're cheesy, I know, they're for kids, but I like me. I love the Goosebumps books, and I love the show. Fear Street is more for teenagers. It's not as good as the Goosebumps books, but it's a good series of books. The Netflix series, however, is shit. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The first one's like a PG-13 Scream movie. Overrated. Let the wrong... I'm not seeing a lot of overrated films here, but I'm gonna go until the present time. Sorry if I'm lagging a little bit. It's just because I had those others prepared, and I'm just going off the top of my head here. Someone mentioned The Exorcism of God. I don't like that movie. But if you're into Smile is overrated, I actually like that movie. I disagree with you on that one. And Up is where the crap starts. I disagree. I would say 2020 and on. But yeah, the 20 teens, they weren't the best horror decade, but they were better than I think you think. There was too many remakes, but Smile was decent. Smile was good. I liked it, actually. I don't agree with that one. I like Smile, too, also. And that's a movie I thought I'd hate, but I ended up liking it, so. Titan. That movie's a piece of shit. Has anyone ever seen Titan? It's one of those artsy movies. Basically, this chick has sex with a car. Don't ask me how, she just does. And she gets pregnant by the car. And she pretends to be a guy, and she goes to this guy who's lost his son and pretends to be his son. It's just a weird freaking movie. I hate that movie. It's trashy. All right. I know a movie that's gruesome. Next time we'll do underrated movies, and those will be interesting. For sure. All right, we're going to 2022. Don't care about predictability. The scare gags were awesome. You know, at this point, you've pretty much seen it all. You know, I mean, the earliest movie I've seen is like 1896, and it was like 5 minutes long. And I've watched all the way to the last horror movie I watched was... I watched 28 years later in the theaters. I've seen it all by now, and so it's hard for me to be surprised anymore. I don't need to be surprised to enjoy a movie. I just gotta enjoy a movie, you know? I don't expect everything to be Halloween. Okay, Barbarian was a freaking awesome movie. I'm not gonna mention it, of course, because this is the most overrated horror movies, and Barbarian is not overrated at all, but I love that movie. Missed so badly on that one. You're wrong, my man. Bipolar Bear, you and me agree with most things, but we do not agree on 28 years later. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. That movie's a piece of shit. And I think Pete Davidson's a weirdo, by the way. He's like a vampire. He's like... He makes me look black. I mean, he is so pale. Moving on. We're just about done, guys. There has been a ton of movies in the 2020s. A lot of movies, man. Hellraiser, the remake. Why do you guys like the remake of Hellraiser? I do not get it. Yes, it makes Pinhead the main character for once, but sucks in that one. It's like it's a chick playing Pinhead. And by the way, if you want to watch a real Hellraiser movie, watch the first two and watch my video. Hellraiser is one of my popular videos. I love Hellraiser, man. I grew up with that one. I grew up with Hellraiser, man. I love that movie. But the remake, I don't know what you guys are smoking. It's not a good movie at all. There's not a lot of Netflix movies I actually enjoy, by the way. Speaking of Netflix movies, the Jeffrey... Hi, Monkey. Nice to see you again. But, speaking of Netflix movies, anybody seen the Jeffrey Dahmer miniseries? Here's the thing. I don't like it. It's too woke. They spend the whole time saying how they try to make Dahmer into a racist. Dahmer didn't attack black guys because he hated black people. He killed them because he liked them too much. I mean, he loved black guys. I mean, he was horny for black guys. That's why he killed them. They try to make it into some woke thing that it's not. And I just don't get it. The guy who played Dahmer was good, but other than that, I do not like that movie at all. Man, that is a piece of shit movie. I hate anything woke, just in case. Just get that out of the way, guys. Yes, Monkey, you're one of my favorites. Glad to see you. If something is woke, there's a good chance I hate it. And that doesn't mean that something is necessarily political and I have to hate it. Was a TV series. It's kind of like a mini series, kind of like It was. Either way, I don't care for it. Whatever title you give it. Pray. The Scream 5 or Scream, that movie's shit. The original Scream is a masterpiece. But the one where they killed off Dewey, that movie sucks. I saw it in the theaters and I wish I didn't. Skinamarink. That movie is shit. I'm sorry. That movie is so freaking boring. One of the most boring horror movies. What's the best sci-fi horror? The best sci-fi horror is The Thing remake. But Skinamarink, just imagine going to the 90s and getting a really crappy handheld camera and then staring at a wall for an hour and 30 minutes. That's Skinamarink. People talk about it like it's some artistic masterpiece. If sitting around watching nothing is entertaining to you, then I guess you'll love that movie. Personally, I don't like seeing, you mean 80s thing. Yes, I do. Don't sleep on the 50s thing either. But Skinamarink, man, that movie's boring. That is one of the most boring movies I've ever seen. I mean, I lost about 10 IQ points I can't get back just trying to... You just sit there and watch a wall. It's a little more than that, but not much. It's watching nothing and really crappy quality nothing. Seen The Wailing? I don't know. I might have. I can't say that I have. But I've seen so many movies I can't really say what I